whatever before do you get this gift? So I'm sort of like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this gift? And everyone cleared out, and no one would come and take the box. And I'm thinking, do we take the? It was a lovely frame. There's all this protocol, so they tell you that you're gonna do this. They're gonna stand here. And
Barack and I, we spend most weekends we're staring at each other because somebody's at a basketball game, somebody's at a dance, somebody's sleeping over. We're the last people our kids want to be with. So I think they're conditioning us for that empty nest syndrome. I don't know what we're gonna do. I gotta get him some more hobbies.
Shocking! The former model who became First Lady against her will finally cracked when Michelle Obama exposed her on live TV. Melania Trump, who spent 4 years looking like she'd rather be anywhere else, reportedly had a complete meltdown behind closed doors. The woman who plagiarized Michelle's speech word for word in 2016 couldn't handle being called out by the very person she copied. Insiders say Melania's reaction exposes everything about her true feelings toward being First Lady.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama in a new cover story for Elle magazine, taking another swipe at President Donald Trump while promoting her book, Becoming. This time without mentioning him by name.
New tonight, Melania Trump firing back, responding to Michelle Obama, who says she offered Melania Trump an open phone line, an offer Melania has refused. It's all coming out as Michelle Obama speaks out about her husband, their relationship, being First Lady, and President Trump.
How do you think she is doing in defining who she is?
you know, one of the things you learn as a former, it's like, I don't judge what a current is doing.
And it's not the cool, unbothered image she tried to project. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Do you have any sympathy? Because there are people around her creating things, and, you know, I have some sympathy for her. Do you understand how that might be sympathetic for what happened to her?
So no sympathy.
Mm-hmm. But the things that they have to go through, for instance, Melania Trump was so criticized for using what turned out to be a portion of your speech. But
Yeah, that was tough.
all right, let's move on. Let's move on. All right.
When Melania Trump finally decided to move into the White House in June 2017, she had already set a bizarre record, the first Lady to delay her arrival by a full 5 months after inauguration. While the official story about Barron's schooling sounded reasonable enough, insiders whispered that Melania was actually bargaining for time away from a role she never wanted in the first place. The contrast between Melania and previous First Ladies couldn't have been more stark. While Michelle Obama commanded a staff of 24 dedicated professionals, Melania operated with just 4 people. It's like showing up to build a house with a single hammer while everyone else brought full construction crews.
It's huge. Well, part of it is bringing awareness to the issue, not just internationally, but here at home as well. And we've done a lot in a year and a half to galvanize resources, expertise.
All right, let's talk about Let Girls Learn. Let Girls Learn. So 62 million young women around the world do not have access to quality education. What is Let Girls Learn doing to try to improve that situation? Because it's a huge problem.
Her limited public appearances weren't just about being camera shy. They revealed a woman desperately trying to minimize her participation in a job description she never signed up for. Remember her life before the White House? Glamorous photo shoots, luxury apartments, and a schedule entirely of her own making. Then suddenly, she's expected to host Easter egg rolls, decorate for Christmas, and pretend to care about children's nutrition. No wonder she was caught on Hot Mic complaining, "Who gives a f*** about Christmas stuff and decoration?" That wasn't just holiday stress talking, it was the frustrated outburst of someone forced to perform meaningless rituals she found completely pointless. The Free Melania movement that sprung up during Trump's presidency wasn't just internet comedy, it reflected what millions saw with their own eyes. Body language experts had a field day analyzing footage of Melania swatting away Trump's hand during international visits, her smile instantly collapsing into a frown when she thought cameras had turned away. These weren't just awkward marital moments caught on camera. They were glimpses into the prison of public expectations she was desperately trying to escape. According to W Magazine's reporting, Melania's true priorities were crystal clear, and serving the American public wasn't on the list. Instead of championing meaningful causes or representing American diplomacy, she focused primarily on spending time with Barron and maintaining her appearance. The phrase minimum viable First Lady product perfectly captures her approach, doing just enough to prevent outright criticism while investing as little emotional energy as possible into the role. Remember that awkward blue Tiffany box handoff at the inauguration? When Melania approached Michelle Obama with that gift, her deer-in-headlights expression told us everything. She hadn't even been briefed on basic inauguration protocols. This wasn't just a momentary slip. It revealed a fundamental lack of preparation for a role that every other incoming First Lady had studied and prepared for extensively. Her Be Best campaign against cyberbullying was the perfect encapsulation of her half-hearted approach. While Michelle Obama's Let's Move initiative came with carefully researched goals, measurable metrics, and a nationwide implementation plan, Be Best seemed like something thrown together during a lunch break. The irony of launching an anti-bullying campaign while married to Twitter's most famous bully wasn't just hypocritical. It showed how little thought went into her selection of causes. Perhaps the strangest testament to Melania's reluctance was the fake Melania conspiracy theory that gained surprising traction during her husband's presidency. The very idea that the White House might employ a body double because the actual First Lady refused to show up speaks volumes about public perception of her commitment. While the theory itself was ridiculous, the fact that it seemed plausible to so many Americans reflects how visibly absent she was from her official duties. All of this brings us to the infamous plagiarized speech scandal, when Melania's 2016 RNC speech lifted entire passages from Michelle Obama's 2008 DNC address. It wasn't just embarrassing. It revealed the fundamental emptiness behind her public persona. She didn't care enough about representing herself authentically to ensure her most high-profile address contained her own thoughts and words. This wasn't just a staffing error. It was the perfect metaphor for her approach to the entire role, going through motions without personal investment. And when the White House chapter finally closed, Melania practically sprinted back to civilian life. While other former First Ladies launched foundations or continued advocacy work, Melania chose a different path: blessed obscurity. She's barely made public appearances since, focusing entirely on Barron's education and her personal interests. Exactly as she always wanted. Michelle's comments didn't just embarrass Melania, they exposed the painful truth about a woman who never signed up for political scrutiny. That ballistic reaction, pure frustration from someone who spent 4 years feeling trapped in a fishbowl. So next time you catch those old clips with her tight smile and distant eyes behind designer sunglasses, remember, there was a countdown clock ticking in her head all along.